man, we're here for our brother Tony,
Yeah.
and we're here for creating legacy wealth. I mean,
Right.
think about that. Think about that.
Legacy wealth. Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Hmm.
And and for him to have his grandson on, on
Hmm.
his lap, I mean,
Hmm.
that's a treasured memory that Cam will never forget,
Yep.
right? Because this is being recorded, and
Yep.
that's what it's about, right? Each
Hmm.
one teach one, each one reach one. So,
Right.
from your perspective, when you talk about, you and your husband went to this Black couples getaway
Mhm.
event, and I know they also had, some seminars or
Yes, they
whatever,
did.
right? Yeah,
Yep.
talk to us
Mhm.
about that, and then we'll get JD on here. But what was so special? And then Tony, if I remember, he was one of the keynote speakers.
He was. Yep. He did teach a piece about financial literacy in couples,
Oh my
So
goodness.
the event, the Black Couples Getaway event, I love the enrichment sessions that they had.
Mm,
They
yes.
called them enrichment sessions, in the middle of your vacation, right?
Right.
But for couples to like enhance
Mm,
their relationship with each other. So we were together one day and then we were separate the second day, husbands and wives. But it was a great event. And thank you, JD. I will be on another one of your trips
Thank
because
you.
we talk about it often. The experience we had, being with the Black Couples Getaway group. So
and guess
welcome.
and guess what? Your secrets are safe with me because what happened in DR
That's
stays in DR.
that's
love it.
we,
Love it.
we really enjoyed you all so much.
yeah.
Now, let me get Shelly back here so we can do what we didn't do before. We wanted to say happy birthday, King Tony.
Love it.
Thank you. Happy birthday to you, man. Special day, very special day. Now, to the person who did this run of show and put me behind my mentor, Dr. George Frazier, in your stocking on Christmas, because that is my mentor for real, for real. I looked at the flyer of all these people, these grand people that were on the flyer, and I was on the flyer with them, and I was saying to myself, how in the world did I get on a flyer with these brilliant, intellectually magnificent people? And I hearken back to what George Frazier taught me, since he's definitely my mentor as well, which is introduce me to your 5 closest friends and I will tell you who you are. And
Mhm.
so that makes all the sense in the world to be celebrating, first of all, iPad, increase, protect, and dominate the book. And I want to say to Tony, all these people out here, including myself, I'm in this group, talk this mess about writing a book. I need to write a book. I need to do this. I need to do that. Brother, congratulations, man. You actually wrote the book, man. And thank you, man, so much for writing this book. It's going to impact no telling how many millions of people by just hearing some of the ideas, concepts that came out of your brain. So thank you for doing that. Secondly, I just want to talk about Tony, the man, just real briefly, because Marlon, my good friend Marlon, Tony, these two guys, Marlon was the one who introduced me to Tony, brought him up to Atlanta, and took us, of course, to Papados. And you know, Papados and Tony was a good mixture. I'm gonna tell you right now. And from that day since, I've called Tony my friend, solid brother. And to the point where Black couple getaways, let me just talk real quickly about Black couple getaways and what we're doing. Black couple getaways, we're taking these beautiful couples all around the world on trips. We're empowering them. We're partying together. We're beaching together. We're relationshiping together. We're networking together. And so it's a special group. And to find out what Tony was doing, I had to figure out some kind of way to incorporate him into what Black couples was doing. And I told everybody that I was being selfish about it, in the fact that if they listened to Tony, they were going to have more money. And if they had more money, they were going to be able to travel more with Black couple getaways. So I was hedging my bets to a degree. But Tony has ran classes for the Black Couple Getaways wealth classes, financial literacy classes, and actually really, really helped a lot of the couples who just didn't know. They just didn't know some of these things that Tony has in his brain, and he's so eloquent in his conversation, and he's just a nice guy. And to add to that story, and I'll get up off of here, I believed in him so much. One, that I changed my financial philosophy and changed over to use Tony as my financial professional. So I believe him in that much. But then I took it one step further, and I called up moms. Now, anybody knows when you call up moms, that's serious. But I believed in his brother. Now, my mom is not she's what they call a tough cookie. Beautiful woman, but you have to come correct with moms. You got to come correct. And I warned Tony before he got on the phone, brother, this is my mother. And if you think I'm a terror, this woman right here, she's going to run you down through there and give you all the professional inquiry. And I just want to make sure you got thick skin because you're going to get it. He said, I got it. And so at the end of the day, he won my mother over. And my mother did move. Now, this is what she told me too. She said, I'm going to give him half the money. I'm going to give him half first. Let me see how he does with half, and then I'll think about the other half. So we're in the process of working on the other half. But Tony, man, thank you, brother, man. One, happy birthday to you, man. I hope you have an awesome birthday. As you can see, you're surrounded by all these beautiful people, man, that got so much love in their heart for you, King. Seriously, Alyssa, boom, more power to you guys. But I want to say thank you, man, for all that you do. Thank you for iPad. I'm definitely going to promote this thing, help you get this word out, because I know it's good stuff. Love you, King. And thanks for putting together a powerful program, man. Thank you. This is awesome.
Thanks, JD.
Awesome.
We love it, man. I love your enthusiasm. Michelle, what's so amazing is that as you've been hearing, and I think that's going to be the common thread, Tony's genuineness is just really so special that people feel like they want to share him with their family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I actually invited Tony to my family reunion. And he actually facilitated a financial seminar, for my family, and it was just amazing. So, for those of you that haven't connected with Tony, definitely go to ipadyourmoney.com. If you haven't gotten the book, please go ahead and get the book. I mean, come on, y'all. If we knew better, we do better, right? And so, JD, thank you, brother, man. We're going to continue on, and we appreciate your words, man. It was very important.
Man, love you guys, man. Tony, keep it pumping, baby.
Thank you.
Right. Thank you, brother. And so I think next we got a very special something that people haven't experienced yet. I'm sure you'll introduce that.
The next one?
Isn't it the book
we're doing? Book signing. Yeah. So we are going to do a drawing, right?
Yes.
Is Elisa ready? Let's see. Elisa, are you ready? You're on mute.
Not yet.
Oh, man.
All right, here I am.
There you go.
There you go. Good.
All right, could you guys see my wheel?
Nope, not yet. You haven't shared yet. Or Dante, share the wheel.
Dante's gonna share it.
So this is very special, y'all, because what's going to happen, the wheel's going to come up and Elisa's going to explain what is next. But this is something, a little surprise, that's one thing I love. And can you believe it already? We're just moving. See, when you're doing what you love, time flies. So, Elisa, Dante, this is exciting, this next segment.
Yes. Lisa, share your screen. There you go.
Yay.
Yay.
All right, let's see. Ooh, the first name, Lone Rinker.
Lone Rinker.
All right, we're gonna do 7 names. The next one, let's see.
Bonita.
Dr. Bonita. Dr. Bonita Harris.
It says click.
Oh, Chris McGuire.
Yeah.
Did it?
It said a different name, but it was Dr. Bonita.
Oh, let's see. Okay. Leslie Young.
Nice. Very suspenseful.
Lashia Cavers.
Nice.
Did I said that right? Lashia or Lachey. It's either Lashia or Lachey. It's a pretty name. All right.
Let me explain what's going on right now, you guys. So as we're doing this wheel of names, if your name gets pulled by the wheel, I'm going to go ahead and sign your book this evening. So Janice Lee. So Janice Lee, the Rainmaker. So I am going to sign her book right now, and I'm signing her book. And what's going to happen is everyone who has their book signed now will also be in the running for a $100 giveaway at the end of the show.
Ooh, Carolyn Mandrum.
All right. Y'all gotta let me catch up here. Who we got? I got Janice Leak. Who else do we got? Carolyn?
Okay, so yeah, we got Janice Leak, Lowell Rinker.
All right, let me do Lowell. Now let me tell you about Lowell. Lowell is my mentor from Western Michigan University. As a freshman, I went there as a county major on academic scholarship, and he was my faculty advisor. He was the chief of the accounting department. And so actually I spoke with him today. And all right, so we got Lowell, and then we had Dr. Bonita Harris.
Dr. Bonita Harris.
All right, so we got
All
Dr.
right.
Bonita Harris right here.
Leslie Young.
Your book could be next.
And then Lachey Caver. Lachey Caver.
All right, and we will date those 2/22/22.
All right, did you do Janice Lee? Did you sign a book for her?
I got the Rainmaker.
You got the Rainmaker. Okay, and then Carolyn Mangrum.
Yeah.
I got Carolyn.
You got her.
Good to have Carolyn with us.
One more.
All right.
Let's do one more.
Let's do one more.
Who is it gonna be? I know this guy. Christopher Jackson.
Awesome.
Who is he?
Everybody whose name came up on the wheel of names got your signed autograph book, and you're going to be in the drawing for $100. And it's going to be something we call stockpile. It's something that I think is great, where you can actually give stock away or cryptocurrency away. So, for years I've done Amazon gift cards, but I said, we want to change our mindset from being a consumer to being an investor and a saver. And so with this gift card, you can buy Nike stock, Amazon stock, whatever you want. So you're going to be in the running for the $100 giveaway. And we're going to give the second one we're going to give away is going to be for everyone who shares the broadcast on Facebook. If you share it, you will then be in the drawing for that $100 gift certificate as well. So right now, at this time, we're going to take a little bit of jazz from my good friend, recording artist, Isaac Norris. We're going to play a little bit of that. And then when we come back, we got someone special that Marlon will introduce. So we appreciate y'all.
My. Boy, I tell you, we got music, interludes, we got, gift giveaways. What? This is amazing. This is like no other book launch I've ever been to. What about you, Michelle?
No, I don't think I've been to a book launch quite like this.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we got some living legends with us. And,
Yes.
I'm so excited. Our next guest, a dear friend, gentleman who, just think about it, Think and Grow Rich, a Black choice. I mean, if you just let those words sink in, right? Think and Grow Rich. Think and Grow Rich, a Black choice. Dr. Dennis Kimbrough is here with us to just share some words and some insights. Dennis has become a good, dear friend of Tony's, and I'm really excited because, Dr. Dennis Kimbrough is a family man, and he also really said to himself, I want to study what makes the difference And I think that's why he's here tonight, because he understands iPad Your Money is a game changer.
Yeah.
And so, Dr. Dennis Kimbrough is a family man. He graduated with his doctorate from Northwestern University, and he has traveled throughout the world, talking about Think and Grow Rich, your mindset and how to take it to the next level. So let's bring Dr. Kimbrough on the screen. Yes, Dr. Kimbrough, how are you?
Dr. Kimbrough.
Look, he's reading right now.
Right.
Oh man, sorry. Oh man, I apologize, man. Okay, Marlon, man, what's up,
He
bro?
got the highlighter out.
Right, got the highlighter out.
Go get this book. This book is on financial literacy. And what in the world does that mean thanks to Tony Jackson? Pocketbook can't grow till the mind grows, brother. So you got to go ahead and get this taken care of first. So many rich nuggets, and I love the title. Oh my God, I love the title. Increase, protect, and dominate. Tony, you hit a home run. I don't know how long it took you to write this bad boy, but job well done. So here we are, and you're in my study, and I am so happy and proud. I got to tell one of my favorite accounting stories, man, and it's really not an accounting story. It's a real life story that occurred to me when I was a freshman at the University of Oklahoma. Oh, my God. My accounting class was Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And there were about maybe 45 students in there. And as you can guess, I was the only African-American, male or female, in that accounting class. And I said to myself, first of all, what is a true freshman doing in a principles of accounting class? Wow. But I had to be there for a purpose. And though I started off as an accounting major. And Tony, don't get mad at me. I changed my major when I see the Lord made economics, and I said, "Oh man, let me do a political economics over here, bro." But I got the job done. But I did marry an accountant, and that's the good news. I want to tell everybody out there on the hinterland, there's only 3 things you can do with money. Okay, you can spend it, you can save it, and you can give it away. But there's only 2 things that you can mentally do with money. You can take money as income, but mentally you got to make it become wealth. And the only way that income becomes wealth is through financial literacy. In 1897, your prolific scholar, W.B. Du Bois, was trying to get that point across, and no one listened. He wrote a book called The Negro in Business in 1897, more than 800 pages. 10 years later, almost to the day, Booker T. Washington, he writes his first book, and you know what it's called? It's called The Negro in Business. He used the same title that Du Bois used. And still, no one listened. But thank God our excuses are over. Why? Because Tony Jackson has written the seminal book on financial literacy, and it's written by an accountant. Big difference. Now, you wouldn't go to a dentist who didn't finish dental school, would you? You wouldn't go to a doctor who didn't finish medical school, did you? And you're certainly not going to take financial literacy advice from someone who doesn't know anything about financial literacy. And thank God we have this book. So, Tony, I'm proud of you. 25 years you've been at this. I had class today. That's why I'm completely and totally relaxed. I'm trying to get out of character. Let me get out of character, because we were knee deep in this case study today, and I got to get this case study out of my mind. So focus in on what you are doing. You know my story. As Marlon said, Think and Grow Rich, a Black choice. I don't know if there's anybody out there haven't heard it that's African-American, whatever. But I guess that was my first book. My 5th book is The Wealth Choice. But to me, my magnum opus was What Makes the Great Great. That was the book that I was working on when the Napoleon Hill Foundation sort of pulled me aside and said, finish Napoleon Hill's book. So I'm proud, I'm humbled, and I'm honored, but we have a lot of work to do. And thank God that Tony Jackson is helping us close the financial literacy gap. Today is an historic day besides the date, okay? 2/22/22 and the like. I was just watching the news, and thanks to the U.S. soccer team, female soccer team, they're going to go back and pay these women what they should have been paid. Now, 2 elections ago, I have no problem sharing with people that I was all for Hillary Clinton. And yeah, everybody's got skeletons in their closet. And some people might talk right and walk left and whatever, but that didn't concern me. The only reason, let me repeat it again, the only reason why I was ready to cast the ballot for Hillary Clinton was because she was the only person on the ticket that was talking compensatory. You do the work, you get paid regardless of gender. Equal pay. Now, why is that so critical in the Black community? Because we have Black women, and you can look at the data. I mean, you can go ahead and look at Census Bureau data, U.S. Trust Survey, and the like. More than 70% of Black households, and I don't care if they're headed up by females or women, bring something to the table, but more than 70% of African-American households, Black women, forget being the contributory member, they are the only breadwinner at that household. So what in the world does that mean? If you pay Black women on par what you would pay a male, and there's not a state in the nation that will pay women what they pay men. And white females, they will earn anywhere between 82 to 84 cents for every dollar a man will bring down. But Black women, it's like 68 to 75 cents for every dollar a man will bring down. Now, let's go back to my original point. You have so many Black women who are the #1 breadwinners in the house, more than 70%. If you pay them on par what you would pay a male, what would that do in the Black community? Are you ready for this? It would end poverty. Oh, you didn't hear what I said. Just think of all these off-the-wall poverty programs that you have in all these social service agencies, and all you had to do is give that woman the same thing you would give a man. Dollar for dollar, you would end poverty in the Black community. Not only that, but all these Black women with these children in apartments could now buy a home. And what's the first thing you do when you get home? You get equity, my brother. You get tax write-offs. And what is she going to do with that disposable income? Now she might want to go ahead and that side hustle become a full-time business. And we just don't need any business. George Fraser can tell you that we need businesses in emerging markets. We need businesses in emerging markets. Why? Because right now they have taken that phrase minority supplier, and it's one big trap house. You mentioned minority supplier right now, and what do? Okay, but that means Black folks, they're going to supply the food with catering. Oh, that means Black folks, they're going to clean the building up with janitorial services. No, we need emerging markets. #1, that employ people. #2, that think beyond today to tomorrow. I tell my students all the time, I don't care whether you're a corporate climber or I don't care whether, you're an entrepreneur. There are two sectors that you have got to think of. If you're a corporate climber and you're an entrepreneur, you got to either think of your job or your business. What is it going to be in the next 5 years? what is my job and what is my business going to look like in the next 5 years? And look at COVID. COVID wiped so many businesses by the wayside because we weren't thinking 60 months out. Again, got to go back to Tony Jackson. You are up in the ante. You are forcing us to level up. You are forcing us to scale. You are forcing us to sacrifice, today for tomorrow, because that is the hallmark of wealth. And you are forcing us to forcing us to make sure that we tell our money where to go rather than wondering where it went. So, Tony, I love you, my brother. Keep doing. I want you to sell a zillion copies, brother, not a million, a zillion. And think, increase, protect, and dominate every day of the week.
Dr. Kimbrough, man, I get so fired up listening to you, man, and just so inspired. And I love what you just said, because I talk about that all the time and say, if you don't tell your money where to go, it'll go where it wants, and you'll ask, where did you go? Right?
Oh, without a doubt, man. And I go as far as my cash will take me. Dr. Kimbrough, what the hell does that mean? I got a $10 bill in my billfold right here, and that's all that's going out there. I'm only going to get as far as this $10 will take me.
I love what you're doing for our people too. And I just have to say, I first met you a couple years ago at the hotel there in Atlanta. We were having a conference, and you came up and you signed your book for me, and we sat there. I sat there. I actually literally was sitting in a booth with you on one side and George Frazier on the other.
Wow.
I was in overload, man. I got the picture to prove it, right?
Oh, man. Wow.
So thank you so much. And it's just, one of the things is it's so important that we plan. It's so important that we plan. And you kind of touched on that a little bit. And, I talk about that in the book. I mean, it's about first, getting our mindset and our financial literacy together, and then taking action, and putting a plan together. And so
it's called the budget, my brother. That's what it's called. Don't exceed your budget. No, it's called a budget. And like I said, we are the only people to buy stuff that we don't need, trying to impress somebody that we can't stand. I ain't into that, brother. I told the story to my students last week, after the Super Bowl and the Rams won. The owner of the Rams, who held up the trophy, the Kroenke family, he brought me in to speak to the Rams. And on the way over there, and at one time, he also owned the Denver Nuggets, and he brought me in to speak to his Denver Nuggets also. But I'll never forget, on the drive over there, Vice President of Player Development, he was saying, well, Dr. Kimbrough, these guys, they'll file in, right? They have practice, and please don't be angry if they're not paying attention, this, that, and that. I said, I'm not going to have that problem, because I'm not going there asking for anybody's autograph. And I know they got heavy contracts and the like, but I'm more interested, not how much money you will make in a day, but what will your portfolio look when you're my age? It was so quiet in that room, you could hear a pin drop, Tony.
Wow.
Everybody wants and needs financial literacy, and you are setting the pace. Continue to set it, brother.
I appreciate that. I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, and you're right. It's not about, and it's not even about where you start. It's where you finish. And how many athletes that we know that make a lot of money. I mean, they make a great income, but then 5 years after retirement, studies say that most of them don't have it anymore. And if we could do some things to help them up front before they even get to college, right? Because I even talk about that in the book, where I was a freshman and I walk into the student union, and boom, credit card companies.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I tell this story, Dr. Kimbrough, that I went down and got me a stereo from Sears and Roebuck. that dorm room, I had 300 watts pounding in
Whoa.
the dorm room, right? And then, 5 years later, I still got the stereo and the payment that went with it, right? And I'm proposing to my wife. And what kind of
Wow.
is that to be? But those are the lessons that we learn. And my prayer is that people will read the book, and these stories that are at the beginning of each chapter are real clients. The names, the places have all been changed to protect the innocent, but these are real stories. And we just gotta do better. And someone said, if my people knew better, they would do better. So
and I love the way you do it. You drape the mini case study on the table. I don't care where you are, there's food for you on that page, and you can find yourself in that case study. So you've done a magnificent job, Tony. I'm proud of you.
Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate you stopping by, sharing a few nuggets with our audience tonight. So we appreciate you.
All right, my brother. Hang in there anytime, man. You take care. Like I said, go sell a zillion of them because we certainly need it.
All right. Appreciate it.
All right, my brother. Take care.
Take care. Wow, that was awesome. Man, y'all, you just don't know that day, that evening that I was sitting between him and George. Man, I was taking notes. I should have been recording the conversations. But listen, I'm gonna drop back off and let Marlon and Michelle bring on our next guest that's gonna be with us.
That was amazing.
That was amazing, huh? I mean, Dr. Kimbrough, Dennis Kimbrough here in the house.
Yeah.
I mean, Think and Grow Rich, a Black choice. And, and for him to, just say so much about iPad, your money.
Yeah.
That means a lot, from a very distinguished author. Dr. Kimbrough is not going to, fake the funk, right? He's speaking from a very sincere space. So, Michelle, this has been great. And I know you're going to introduce our next special guest.
Yes, I am introducing our next guest. Our next guest is Alistair Edwards, and he is with Legal Shield.
Yes.
And actually, he was on the program back in August. He was on the show back in August, and he told us a powerful story on the show that night. And today he's going to talk about the importance of life insurance and real estate. Some of the chapters that Tony has in the book. So Legal Shield, like he helps individuals and businesses protect their assets, right?
Nice.
Through a Legal Shield subscription. And let me just tell you, I signed up for Legal Shield, and like the very next week I had to use Legal Shield.
Oh my goodness.
Like Legal Shield is real, y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all should get that. So talk to Alistair. So welcome to the stage, Alistair, and let's hear some nuggets from you.
Well, first of all, let me say thank you. Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
You can, brother.
Man, let me tell you what, I'm so excited to be here with when I saw the lineup, I said, man, he must have made a mistake. There must be somebody else that he had in mind. First of all, Dr. Frazier, man, I've been following that gentleman for I don't know how long, just learning so many nuggets. And Dr. Kimbrough, he came on our morning meetup, and we went through his book. We read his book in detail, like 600 people reading his book every single day. And then he blessed us and kind of closed it out. Just sharing some personal information on the book. And of course, JD and I sold books together in college, door to door, right? We were door-to-door salesmen selling encyclopedias. I know the younger generation is trying to figure out what is an encyclopedia, right? Because everything is Google today. Well, let me tell you what. Let me tell you why I'm excited about this book. Tony, first of all, is a great friend. Tony is my personal, insurance agent. I have some life insurance with Tony, and I trust him with that. I trust him so much with it that I shared my team with him so he could share his wealth and knowledge with the team. And he's blessed so many people by providing some great services. But I think the reason we kind of connected is because my passion is making sure that our people have access to one, legal justice, and two, access to having a will done. It is amazing to me how many people work their entire life only to pass away and let everything they work their entire life for go back to the state. And it's a simple document called the will that would prevent that. By simply getting a will done, letting the government know, hey, this is who I want to have my assets. This is who I want to take care of my kids. Here are the things that I want to be done when I pass away, right? We have to get past the stupid thought that if I fill a will out, I'm gonna die. Well, let me tell y'all something. We gonna die anyway. It's right. It's gonna happen, right? Let's just face the fact. But why not leave a legacy for your family by making sure that the right things are in place, such as a will, and making sure that while you are living, you have access to the justice system. We see what's going on, right? And don't get me wrong, I work with several police departments. I provide legal shield for some police departments. But we also know that when someone gets pulled over, there are two nervous people. There's a nervous officer walking up to the car, and there's a nervous individual sitting in the car being approached by an officer. Can you imagine being in a situation with two nervous people and one of them has a gun? It's not a good situation. That situation could be calmed by simply the person in the car pressing a simple red button, letting an attorney know, right? Because you have Miranda rights, you have the right to remain silent, you have the right to call your attorney, right? You now have tap a little red button and let an attorney know, hey, I'm being pulled over. I'm about to have an interaction with an officer, and I would love for you to listen in. Imagine how many situations could be diffused when an officer walked up to the car and said, hey, before you get started, you hear a voice that says, hey, sir, before you get started, I just want you to know I'm attorney so-and-so from, this law firm, and I'm here to represent my client. I'm just listening and carry on. It calms two people down. I'm in the car feeling comfortable because I have somebody listening in. The officer realizes he has to follow the rules. Why? Because there's someone that will hold them accountable listening, right? We are protecting those people's rights. And that's simply what a Legal Shield membership does. So I definitely want you all to plug in. And I tell you why a will is important. We all think that, hey, it'll never happen to us. Well, last year, it was May, when I went for my annual physical with my doctor. And needless to say, he said everything was good. He said, Alistair, for 52, man, you're one of the healthiest people in here. A week later, on a Saturday morning, I'm working out, and all of a sudden I feel a pop in my brain, right? Immediately had an immediate headache. I was on a Saturday. I took some Tylenol. Sunday, I took some aspirin. Monday, I took Tylenol and aspirin. Tuesday comes around, I'm on a Zoom with my team, and someone on my team, a young lady on my team, Ms. Tucker, says, hey, Alistair, look, with all due respect, I need you to go to the doctor. And men, let me talk to you. Let's not be stubborn. When you feel a pain or something go wrong, I need you to go to the doctor. So I was still putting it off. I was like, I got a meeting at 4. Well, luckily for me, my meeting at 4 canceled. So I said, let me go to urgent care. Went to urgent care. They ran the numbers. They said, well, hey, Mr. Edwards, the guy comes out. He hands me a yellow slip. He says, Mr. Edwards, I need you to go straight to the hospital. I said, what? I need to go straight to the hospital. I go to the hospital. They check me and they say, hey, we need to do an MRI immediately. They do an MRI. 15 minutes later, after they get me back in the room, a neurosurgeon walks in. He says, hey, Mr. Edwards, do you have a will? I say, yeah. He says, do you have a living will? I say, yeah. He says, do you have a medical health care directive? I say, yeah. I was lucky enough to say yes to all of those questions because it's provided with my Legal Shield membership, right? We do that for the member spouse, and updated every year at no charge. So I already had all of that in place, but I'm still asking, why are you asking me this question? He says, we're going into surgery right now. So come to find out, they did an angiogram, a little incision below your waist, run it up to your brain. Came to find out that I had a busted blood vessel in our brain and almost had like what they looked like 3 mini strokes. And I say all of that to say this, thank God I'm okay today, right? Everything's okay. I'm healing pretty good. But it was just like that my life changed. It was just like, it was a split situation out of the blue that changed everything. And the whole 15-minute between prep and surgery, your entire life runs before you when someone asks you, do you have a will in place? You start asking, did I do the right things? Did I say the right things? Is my family taken care of? And I was glad to know I got insurance because I talked to Tony about that. He's got me prepared with that, right? So my family's covered. God forbid something happens to me, they're covered. My will's in place, right? So people know what's going to happen with my assets. And meaning it was peaceful to know that however it would play out, that those that I love would be left in a good place. Here's why I love this book. So Tony sent it to me about a week ago, and I ran through this thing. When I say I ran through it, because it was so educational. He says, look, I'm looking at page 91. At the time of drafting this book, there were 600,000 COVID-19 related deaths in the United States. With a statistical insured rate of only 28%, there have been an estimated 432,000 COVID-related deaths with no life insurance policy in force. Meaning 432,000 people passed away and gave everything they worked their entire life for back to the state because they didn't have a simple document like a will or a trust in place. They didn't create any legacy for the ones they left behind because they didn't have anything like simple life insurance in place. Here's why I need you to get this book. One, so you can understand insurance and understand money. And two, so you can get busy at getting your house in order, right? You definitely want to make sure you do that quickly. And of course, my favorite chapter, of course, was pages 103, where he talks about legal coverage and talks about making sure you have a will and a trust, your healthcare power directive, everything that you need to get your house in order, everything that you need to fully understand what it is to make sure that you and your family are in a secure place is in this book. I need you all to get this book. And so with that, Tony, it's truly been an honor, my friend. I definitely appreciate it. And,
Alistair, let me tell you, bro. You know, from the very first time we were introduced by JD, you and I just kind of connected. And when I had found out about your medical emergency and your thing, I was like, oh my God, I was so happy because I knew that we had something in place. And that happens all the time. And, you know, when you've been doing this for 25 years, you run into those situations. But not only that, is just the importance of having all those things in order, like you talked about. It's not, you know, and we've heard about the James Browns and, you know, Aretha Franklins and folks that just don't have that simple document together. And with a simple membership, Legal Shield, you can get that done, as well as all the other stuff that we talked about. And so I appreciate you. I appreciate your transparency and sharing that story. And that's going to bless a lot of people. And so, you know, just what you do is so important. And, you know, we have really been talking about that with our team, is making sure that we help people get those simple estate planning documents done. In that chapter 6, I tell a story of one of my clients who had a car accident. And this situation was that the car accident didn't kill him, but he had a policy with all the wonderful benefits, you know, critical illness, chronic illness, and all these things. But his wife couldn't do anything about it because he wasn't dead, so she wasn't a beneficiary, but there was no will, there was no healthcare power of attorney in place. And when that happened, I said, this is something we need to talk to every client about. Because had she had that in place, it would have been really easy to get his benefits started, rather than having to go before judge and getting, you know, a power of attorney and all those things done while he's not able to do it. And so that's what I appreciate about this. And you know, I've been a member for a long time, and I use my membership, man. I'm gonna tell you something. And you know, we talk to a lot of people and they don't necessarily like Legal Shield, or they have this, and it's because you don't use it. I tell people this all the time. It's like, well, you got life insurance. If you don't die tomorrow, you're going to cancel it because you didn't use it? No, you're not, right? That's why it's there. So, man, I appreciate you stopping by, spending some time with us. And, man, I look forward to us continuing to work together and just helping people change lives, man, getting them prepared for the abundance that's coming, right? So appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you too, my brother, man. And congratulations on the book.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Y'all remember, you can get your book at iPadYourMoney.com. iPadYourMoney.com. I know Deontay's been running that code buy for, 25% off iPad 20 or 222, right? iPad, when you check out, all caps, iPad 222, 25% off. And I'm so blessed. We didn't even plan this, but last night I looked and saw a new book releases. We are #1 in life insurance on Amazon And we really didn't do a campaign to do that. You know, many people said, this is what you need to do to be #1 bestseller. And all we want to do is come out and serve and help people. So listen, let's bring my lovely bride back on, and let's give away, let's sign some more books. And then we're going to move on quickly to our next guest. All right, baby, how you doing? You're looking good.
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
You're looking good yourself.
Yeah, look out now. Well, we better get to these wheels. We better get to the names. Let's pull up the wheel of names. Let's sign some more books. All right. Here we
can
go.
you see it?
I got my pen ready. Ready.
All right, here we go. Leonard.
All right.